Hey everyone, and welcome to a brand new flight review here on Insider Flyer. Today I have probably the most exciting flight review that I've ever done. Today we're going to be reviewing a flight that I had last week with Hong Kong Airlines from San Francisco to Hong Kong on their flagship A350-900. So before we get into the review itself, let's watch the takeoff from San Francisco. So that was the takeoff. For today's flight, I had seat 15A, if I'm not mistaken. It was a window seat, and I was flying business class with them. So I have a huge disclaimer now. Yes, this is a business class review, but there is a slight twist to it. Now, I was supposedly gonna fly with Hong Kong Airlines on their economy class on that flight, but then the flight was fully booked, and as I was flying standby, the only way for me to actually board this flight was if I upgraded to business class, and that's what I did. And to my surprise, if you upgrade on standby from economy to business class, you're not guaranteed to be served the meal that the airline serves on business class. In fact, you're not guaranteed to be served meal at all. I'm gonna be very straightforward with you guys, and they made me sign a document saying that I acknowledge that they would possibly not be serving meals for me during the 13-hour flight from San Francisco to Hong Kong, and that's what happened. They didn't serve me like proper meals. You're gonna see throughout the review what they did serve me, but yeah, that was it. I'm just giving you a heads up that if you're here for the food that they offer, unfortunately I can't show that today because I was not given food from Hong Kong Airlines. But other than that, it was a very smooth flight, and well, I'm gonna get more into it during the review. Now let's take a look at the seat. The Hong Kong Airlines business class is divided into one cabin in a 1-2-1 configuration, and obviously the seats are fully flat. They become a bed, which is great, especially on these very long flights. You have a huge table on your side. They give a pretty good headset, which I did use towards the end of the flight. Right next to the seat is the literature, so we get the safety cards and a lot of magazines that they have. I'm gonna show more of the magazine later because I freaking loved the design of the wallpaper there. Hong Kong Airlines magazine is called 852, which is like the phone code for Hong Kong, and just look at how beautiful that looks. And then they gave out the amenity kit, which also looks fantastic. You guys can see it there, just like this little small characters all the way all through the bag. And inside, so obviously after we took off, they began serving food, and they actually served me orange juice and some nuts. That's all I got, in the beginning of the flight. Obviously, other passengers were served a very large meal. Fortunately, that was not the case for me. There was Wi-Fi available on the flight. Unfortunately, I found it very expensive, much more expensive than I've paid on other airlines on trans-Pacific flights. For example, 30 megabytes cost $9.9, so basically $10 for 30 megabytes. And if I'm not mistaken, I paid around $10 on United for full Wi-Fi during a full 15-hour flight from Hong Kong to New York. So I definitely found these Hong Kong Airlines prices much more expensive than I would ever pay for Wi-Fi. So I can say that I went 13 hours without Wi-Fi and it was a good experience. Towards the middle of the flight, one flight attendant probably felt bad for me and he decided to give me a done it sort of thing. As you can see there, it did not taste good and it did not look great either. And that is all that I was served during this flight. A donut, water, a chocolate bar that I got from the galley, nuts and oranges. Now, obviously, as I've said before, I was not a regular passenger on this flight. I paid much less than a normal passenger paid for this flight, so I'm not exactly complaining about Hong Kong Airlines. I'm just glad that I had a very good seat for 13 and a half hour flight, and that's it. As I've said before, unfortunately I can't show you what the food looks like, but other than that, this was a good flight. And now enjoy the landing in beautiful Hong Kong. Hong Kong Airlines has two cameras, one on the tail and one just before the front landing gears. So enjoy the beautiful crosswind landing in Hong Kong, and thank you for watching this video. Next on a couple of days I'll be posting a economy review on Hong Kong Airlines from Hong Kong to Los Angeles, which I just flew 3 days ago. I hope if you've enjoyed this video, and please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next flight review. Thank you.
The local time now is 19 minutes to 6 in the afternoon, and the temperature is 31 degrees Celsius. For your safety, please remain seated until the seatbelt sign is switched off. Please be careful when opening the overhead compartments, as items inside may fall out. Please ensure that you have all your belongings with you before leaving the aircraft. Baby strollers are available.